Eat Lux your way with the Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the classic $5 box, the indulgent $7 box, and a whole new obsession in the $9 box, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. Try the Lux Cravings boxes at Taco Bell today.
How's your day going?
Going good, thank you, yes.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Bronco Nation will not score. Jackson pours. Each game I score a touchdown. Head to Jackson's on Monday for a 49-cent fountain drink with Let's Go rewards. And don't forget your free banana, Jackson's. Let's go.
It's the all-wheel drive event at Lithia Ford of Boise. From hunting trips to ski trips to trips to Grandma's house. Nobody does AWD like LFB, Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN broadcasts come from the Sun Cruiser Studios. Sunny days call for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink. Crack open a Sun Cruiser and let the good times cruise. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, rowpaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange Store. Broadcasting from the Sun Cruiser Studios, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Bronco Nation? Happy game day to you. It's Tuesday. It's game day. The Boise State men's basketball team in action tonight. 9 p.m., 12 hours from now, we got basketball, Boise State and New Mexico. Yes, 12 hours, a 9 p.m. start. We'll get into that. Plenty to discuss. It's Bronco Nation News Live. We are in the Sun Cruiser Studios. Had some Sun Cruisers over winter break, so hope everybody gets a chance to get out and test out some Sun Cruisers if you've never had them before. Real iced tea, real vodka, and love the lemonade flavors as well. Strawberry lemonade's my favorite, but Sun Cruiser, our new studio sponsor in the Sun Cruiser Studios here in 2026. Jay Tust going to join us shortly. Bronco Studios. Plenty to discuss with Jay as we get set for tonight's game. More transfer portal news. Yes, a quarterback into the portal. We'll discuss that. We mentioned yesterday it might happen. Caleb Annett, does that open things up for the Broncos to go get a quarterback now and create some competition there at the quarterback position? We'll see. A lot of folks want them to go get a portal quarterback, and now they have a spot available. So we'll see if they decide to go that route and what they want to do. So plenty of football talk with Jay Tust as well, Bronco Studios. He had a great interview with Jeremiah Dickey yesterday. Hopefully you went on the Bronco Studios YouTube channel and got a chance to watch that. So plenty news and things to discuss with Jay as we get set. And yes, he did. There it is, Chad. Great interview with JD yesterday. Yes, it was a great interview. Hopefully you check that out on Bronco Studios. Again, my name is BJ Rains. This is Bronco Nation News Live. We appreciate rowpaint.com, our title sponsor since day one of Bronco Nation News. Make sure you hit up rowpaint.com. 20% off all your winter painting projects right now. And they need the work, folks. Help them out. Rowpaint.com. And great interior, exterior painting options, those concrete coatings, so many great options at rowpaint.com. We want to hear from you on today's show. This is your show, your chance to discuss and chat with each other in the ICCU YouTube chat. Your choice, your chance to give us some voicemails, the Signature Roofing voice inbox line. We do have a new voicemail. Our man Bill has chimed in, so we'll have that today. And as I said, we're starting this. I forgot if we said we're doing it this week or next week. Maybe we're going to be doing it this week, but going to start giving away $25 gift cards minimum. Could be higher every Friday for the best voicemail of the week. So if you're interested in leaving us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox line, you just go to speakpipe.com/BNN, speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail, and every Friday we'll pick the best one and send you home with a gift card from one of our great sponsors, whether that be Timberstone Golf Course or the James or Taco Bell or the Blue and Orange Store. We got so many great options for all of our sponsors. Taco Bell, we'll hook you up with some gift cards and maybe even hook you up with some Sun Cruisers. But weekly giveaways, weekly prizes, gift cards, etc. for the Signature Roofing voice inbox. Signature Roofing, starting tonight, also the sponsor of the Signature Roofing scoreboard update on the post-game shows, pre-game shows throughout the week. So appreciate Signature Roofing. They're stepping up as a major sponsor of BNN moving forward. And so appreciate them and excited for that. Excited for some new graphics for you guys to see on January 1st. Excited for some new sponsors. Excited for a fresh rebrand of Bronco Nation News. January 1, a perfect day for new intro videos, new graphics, new everything. And excited to tell you all about the new look BNN coming up on Thursday. We will have a show. As of now, I mean, Johnny Ballgame is pretty particular about wanting that paycheck. So if there's ever a chance to do a show, he's in. And we're going to do a show on January 1st. So wake up on New Year's with us, 9 a.m., and we'll have plenty of college football playoff to discuss and other stuff January 1st. So we will have a show every day this week. We took last week off, but we're back, ready to go and in full force here. So why such a late game tonight? Plan on being there, but this is my bedtime. Yep, it stinks. We got sound bites from Leon Rice and RJ Keene. You'll hear that coming up in a minute. 9 p.m. game. It stinks, and I hate to say it. And I'm not sure Leon Rice knew it when I told him, but the next home game's 9 o'clock too against Grand Canyon next Wednesday, and that's on a school night, so maybe even worse. But it's all about TV, all about dollars, and we'll see what happens moving forward with the Pac-12 if they can get some better times, since they're going to be on some obscure channels that maybe don't have as many games. So we'll have to wait and see. But excited about the game tonight, excited about the future of BNN, and excited to bring on our man Jay Tust, Bronco Studios. Sweet lid there, Jay.
So guys over at the Blue and Orange Store.
I like that lid. Travis Hawks and Company, the Blue and Orange Store, definitely stepping up for you. That's a sweet lid, man. If I was ever to wear Bronco, Bronco hat, that might be the one I'd wear.
Santa shops at the Blue and Orange Store too. Let's just say that.
My kid has the there's a black version of that. I forget if it was either Talon Green or Ashton Genty, one of the ones they designed back in the day for
this
the
one.
NIL
I think
deal.
this one would have been Talon then.
Okay.
Ashton had the Idaho logo.
Yep, my other son has that. Those are their two. They each have one BSU hat, and that's a sweet looking hat, man. So hopefully you had a good holidays, Jay. You mentioned Santa being nice to you there. I know. Hopefully he was good to the family as well.
Oh, I mean, that guy keeps people up late at night, but on Christmas Eve. But whatever. It's all it's all fun and games, right? So now good holidays. Can't complain at all.
We did see the Ford. Of course, it was Ford there with the Power Wheels there, man. I know I joked on Twitter, Bronco Studios sponsorship from Ford must be going pretty well, but that looked like quite. I'm hoping you didn't have to build that thing though, man.
Nope, had to build it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 5 a.m. when you posted that, you were just finishing that up?
I wish that it was easy as just going over to Lithia and driving that thing off the lot, but it's not quite that. But I'm just trying to lay the groundwork with Mom that Dad would like one of those one day. So we got the mini version for the kids.
That was I didn't realize you. So that 5 a.m. post was you just finishing that up?
Something like that. It was all part of the process.
And here you thought they worked you hard over at KTVB. Come on, it's the parent. It's the Christmas more.
It's all. Hey, nobody works you harder than Santa. Let's just say that.
No doubt on that one. No. And then when the next morning when the sweatshirt doesn't fit from Santa and you have to try to explain how you might be able to take it back and exchange it, and they wonder how that happens. And we also have my 10-year-old who I think still believes in Santa, but he did ask me why it looked like a lot of the presents were store-bought this year from Santa. So how do the elves make some of this stuff? So
they're magical, buddy. They want it to look like, the best.
I said he picks and chooses, and if he knows what you really want, he would rather it be perfect. They just work out a deal with some of the stores, than have the elves try to mess it up.
Good idea on that one, man.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how many more years we can last with that. But the spirit of Christmas and waking up on Christmas morning, nothing beats it, man.
It's pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie.
Appreciate you, Jay, for jumping on. Somebody already commented here, Chad, and I mentioned it before you came on. Great interview yesterday with Jeremiah Dickey. I think that was part you had a lot to discuss with JD. Part I was on campus yesterday and there weren't a lot of people around, so nice option for a show where you just have him help fill the entire thing. But that was good stuff.
There's just a lot going on in college football right now and really college athletics in general. And it's funny because obviously football gets the headlines, especially over these last few months. But now you see more and more coaches, whether it be Mark Few or John Calipari, and there's a lot of people that are just kind of unhappy with what's going on right now, and maybe the lack of guidelines, direction, whatever you want to call it, within the NCAA. And there's just a lot of people that are voicing their frustrations. And I think we all know Jeremiah Dickey. He is a guy that tries to find answers, and he believes there are solutions. I mean, it's not, apples to apples here, but the same like north end zone, like whoever thinks that thing gets built, and he grinds until he finds answers with his team. And then we have a north end zone being built, so there's a lot of talking points right now within college football specifically, but we got to inch closer to something here that just seems at least somewhat reasonable, because it's just sheer chaos with what's going on in college athletics right now.
Well, we'll get to some of the football news. Caleb Annett at the latest to hit the transfer portal here in a little bit, but it is game day. We are literally, Jay, and I cringe when I say this, about 12 hours from tipping the ball off tonight at Extra Mile Arena. 9 p.m. start time tonight. We're going to hear from Leon Rice and RJ Keenan in a minute about the 9 p.m. start time. I am excited, Jay. I mentioned a couple new sponsors coming on board. We're actually, January 1st, we're changing some stuff up. But starting tonight, I'm a nice guy. You want to sign up for 2026, we'll throw in an extra game for you here at the end of 2025 if we can get this stuff done in time. We are proud, Jay, and this is football might be a little easier. Basketball might be a little tougher at times to do this, but we're going to have a defensive player of the game brought to you by Element Fencing. You like that? Defensive player of the game brought to you by Element Fencing. And look at this. I even have a little pre-package. This is where we're stepping up here, Jay. I put this together. What do you think?
It's time for the Element Fencing Defensive Player of the Game. Brought to you by Element Fencing, a family-run fencing company with more than 40 years of hands-on experience. Let our owner, Brady, work with you to build your project from the ground up, with the perfect design and materials to meet your fencing needs. Check out elementfencing.com today. Who's today's Element Fencing Defensive Player of the Game? Let's find out on Bronco Nation News.
All right, so there you go. Welcome to it's amazing now with some of these templates, by the way, Jay, on some of the Canva and some of these websites, how you can just update a few things and in 10 minutes look like you know what you're doing. But
I was going to say, who made that for you?
I actually did myself. It didn't take that long, surprisingly.
Back in the day, you would have had to build out every single element of that.
That was pretty much already done with the music and the stuff. And I added a few photos and a logo and changed the wording, and it was done in like 20 seconds. But either way, welcome officially Element Fencing. They did a deal with us last year, JR. A couple years ago, Riley Smith at the bowl game interviewed a couple of players, and we got him an NIL deal out of it. But Element Fencing, elementfencing.com, Brady and company, they're on board in 2026 as a sponsor at Bronco Nation News. And we're debuting the Element Fencing Defensive Player of the Game tonight. So we've got the Matt Boucher kind of overall player of the game, and then the defensive player of the game. This will be for basketball and then football games in the fall. So appreciate Brady and the folks over at Element Fencing. They did a fence for us at our old house. Check them out, elementfencing.com. You can see some of the beautiful options and things they have on there. And it's a family owned and just do tremendous work. So if you have any fencing needs coming up, they can do pergolas, decks, all kinds of stuff. elementfencing.com. Check them out. And I know our folks always do a great job supporting the sponsors at BNN. And we have a loyal group that when you're a sponsor, you're part of the fam and you're going to get the business. And hopefully you guys will reach out to Element Fencing for all your fencing needs and appreciate them. Looking forward to the defensive player of the game starting tonight as one of our many changes. New graphics, by the way. Our man Mateo, I did not do those, Jay. I'm not as good with the graphics, but our man Mateo, our intern, a student at Boise State, worked really hard, and we have new pregame and postgame show graphics, which will debut tonight also. But 9 p.m. start, Jay, 10-day break. You know, what a kind of cruddy way to go into the holidays with that dud of a game in Reno last week. But we were over there yesterday talking to Leon and RJ Keene, and seems like it was a needed break to get away for Christmas, and they've gotten back, and they're kind of chomping at the bit here to get back out there. Big one tonight, 9 p.m., as I said, but New Mexico playing pretty well coming to town, and obviously after losing at New Mexico or at Nevada, you got to come back and take care of home court tonight.
I mean, are we into like must-win game mode yet? I don't know. This feels like one you got to go get, though. I agree with you on that. Like, you got to protect your home court in league play. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, if the years where Boise State does that at a high level, they're usually, at the very least on the bubble or likely in the NCAA tournament. And so this is one of those games where you have to go protect your home court. And, I think that, that game down at Nevada, just kind of a weird one, man. Like, couldn't throw the ball in the bucket, couldn't get stops. They were so good in terms of their defensive metrics with Ken Palm, and they fell quite a bit in those rankings. I mean, they're still they're still right at 30 as we speak today, but not necessarily the performance they were looking to have down at Lawler, which is a tough place to play, no doubt. So they got to keep Drew Fielder on the court, and things like that. And what a good opportunity here to get back at home against a good team in New Mexico and try to get your first Mountain West win of the year.
Now, the Ken Palm has Boise State winning by 5 tonight,
Mm-hmm.
but our man Nathan Carroll, you may not want to read the preview today, folks. Nathan Carroll is predicting a 7-point loss. So he looks at some of the numbers, and one of the numbers that is a little concerning, Jay, for this game tonight is the style in which New Mexico plays with. And particularly I'm talking defense here for New Mexico. New Mexico absolutely just packs the paint, and they dare you to shoot threes from the outside. They will let you shoot threes on the outside. They really pack the paint. They really focus on the interior, and that's a huge thing for them, is not giving up, a lot of interior points and things like that. And you look at some of the numbers, they're pretty startling. New Mexico's defense, Jay, over half of opponents' shots against New Mexico are threes. 52.5% of shots that opponents take are three-pointers. That's 363rd. I think that's either dead last or there might be one more team in terms of they give up more threes per game in terms of overall shots than any team in America except for maybe one. And then you look at the number of points that opponents get off threes. When opponents play New Mexico, over 40% of their total points in a game come from behind the three-point line, which is the fifth, I don't want to say not fifth best, fifth highest, I guess, in all of college basketball. So they let teams kind of live and die by the three. They're going to focus on not giving up easy baskets on the interior. They're going to focus on rebounding. They're going to focus on just kind of mucking it up a little bit defensively and really really staying in on that paint. And you look at, a Boise State offense, Jay, where at times, has struggled a little bit shooting the 3-point ball. I mean, they are 35.7% right now, which is 96th in the country. So believe it or not, they're actually upper third, Boise State's offense, in terms of 3-point shooting. But at times they've gone a little cold from the outside, and that's been an issue. And I don't know how great you feel about this Boise State team just living or dying on 33-point attempts tonight, but that's going to be something to watch. If Boise State can hit their outside shots, they should be in good shape because they're going to get a lot of chances.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think that one thing to consider is I will say that hopefully the home rims are friendly. They shoot a lot better from three at home than inside extra mile arena specifically than maybe outside of that arena. And if you look at, in 4 of their 6 home games this season, they've made 10+ threes. They're shooting, I believe well over 40% from three at home this season. So you hope that helps neutralize a little bit of what New Mexico does. And I think the key to that, BJ, is come out and hit a couple of them early and start to make New Mexico a little uncomfortable on defense. Make them do what they don't want to do, and that might kind of loosen things up for the rest of the offense.
Fielder will have to light them up from the outside, pull the defenders out, force the issue.
I don't know if it's just Drew. Drew, great, yeah, totally. But I just think it's anybody just getting out there and hit a couple threes. I mean, Peanut's been, a nice little microwave off the bench. He's been pretty darn good since he moved to that role. And I think you want to see, maybe DA kind of gets it going tonight. I think that people still kind of overlook what he went through in the preseason and getting back from that injury. And he's even had some nice open looks, I feel like, at times in the preseason, or not in the non-con, and they just haven't necessarily gone down at times. So maybe he's the guy that can make a couple tonight too. And, and again, like I said, help make New Mexico a little uncomfortable on that defensive end.
Now, somehow overnight, Boise State got an extra point at KenPom. Originally, it was 75-70. I wake up now, it's 76-70. So somebody had a game that was one of their common opponents or something that changed the numbers, and Boise State now a 6-point favorite at KenPom tonight. But like I said, Nathan Carroll in his preview, unfortunately, doesn't feel great about it, and so he predicted a 7-point loss. So Nathan, hopefully you're wrong tonight for Boise State.
Man, he's either going to look really, really smart, or people are going to.
It's what I like about Nathan, though, man. He's not afraid to tell. He's not afraid to tell it like it is, and he looks at the numbers and the analytics. And I know KenPom likes Boise State, but he mentioned that he's just not. His big issue is the 3-point, and he's just not confident right now in Boise State going out. But you're right, the numbers at home are much different. And hopefully they hit a couple early and get some confidence. And they have Dayton Albury, a transfer from Utah State, on their team. But other than that, I don't think they have a single guy on the coaching staff or on the roster that have played in Extra Mile Arena. And so I know it's not going to be, an electric sellout type crowd tonight for a 9 p.m. game, Jay. But, someone brought up in the chat they've only played one true road game. They did win at VCU. That's a really nice road win. But this will only be their second. I guess they played at New Mexico State and they lost as well. So only 2 road games. They're 1-1 in them. But for the most part, they've beaten up on a lot of bad teams. The VCU win was really nice. The Santa Clara win was nice. They did beat Mississippi State on a neutral court. That was a nice win as well. But they've got a win over a 311 East Texas A&M, 259 UC Riverside, 288 Alabama State. They've got they're 10-2 is a nice record. And I was talking to friend of mine last night, Cody Butler, former coach on the women's team, about this last night. And it's like, what do you want? The better record, beating up on bad teams, like, or would you rather be, 8-4 like Boise State, but have played the schedule and be battle tested like they have? Because, certainly you'd like to have a better record if you're Boise State, and that's going to hurt the at-large bid and all that. But playing NC State and playing USC and some of these teams, does that do more for you, even if you lose, than beating up on 2 really bad teams at home, like some Mountain West teams choose to do? So I guess maybe the verdict will be out on that till the end of the season. But, point is, New Mexico does come in with a 10-2 record. Couple nice wins, but overall hasn't played nearly the schedule Boise State has. We'll see how kind of battle-tested these 2 teams are and whether that, is a factor on either side tonight.
Yeah. It's just, I think there's also just, in sports, BJ, there's recency bias too. And I just think that probably the last time we saw the Broncos on the floor, there was kind of left a bad taste in our mouth. I mean, I know that's not an easy place to play, but, Nevada pretty much had that game in hand the whole way. Boise State made a nice little push like really early in the second half, and it seemed like maybe they were going to get back into that thing, but Nevada really countered and put that game away, and it was really never close the rest of the way for that matter. But, you look at, like I said, Boise State has a true road win at Butler, not a neutral court win over St. Mary's. They've beaten some good teams this year. You look at their net rankings, for the one bracketologists, they do list the non D1 games. Some other net rankings, don't, which means they're clean in quad 2, 3, and 4 right now. All 3 of their losses, again, that the net rankings count, are in quad 1 or 2 and 3 in quad 1. They do have a pair of quad 1 wins. So, there's some nice resume things here, but these are those games that, it's funny because we talk about it every year, but it's because we have to talk about it every year. This team is in contention to be an NCAA tournament team every single year. And now the storylines begin, and you're going to hear us say this over a number of games. But if you want to be in contention on Selection Sunday, this is one of those games at home you just got to go take care of, because if you don't, you put a lot of pressure on yourself now to go win at the Pit or win at Viejas or go on the road and, pick up a key road victory, which, as we saw at Lawler, those just aren't easy to come by.
And you look at the schedule coming up, Jay. San Diego State, somebody brought it up in the chat. Going to San Diego on Saturday, BNN will be there, of course. You have to, you lose on Saturday. You lose tonight, you're looking at 0-3 in conference potentially. The schedule does get a little better. You play Grand Canyon, and Utah State's going to be a super tough game, but that is at home. And just to compare, that's only a 1-point game at Ken Palm. They have Utah State winning by 1 next Saturday, so that's certainly a winnable game at home. But then you've got, Wyoming is playing better, but that's at home. At Colorado State right now, they're without their, best player. Air Force, at Grand Canyon's never easy, but you have Fresno at home, Nevada at home. You're at UNLV, San Jose. You look at these next. Oh, I'm looking at New Mexico's schedule. I knew I had it backwards because I was looking at. All right, I'm an idiot. But I looked this up before. You've got Grand Canyon, Utah State at home next week. You're at UNLV. You have Colorado State, but then you play Wyoming, Air Force, San Jose. This is a stretch here, Jay, where if you can find a way to win tonight, even if you lose Saturday, it really wouldn't shock me if you look up and they're 6-2 in conference here in a couple weeks. You've got some home games. The road games aren't super tough after Saturday against San Diego State. So this is a big game for me tonight, because if you can find a way to win this one, and who knows, San Diego State's not playing great right now. I still think that's certainly a winnable game on Saturday, but 3 out of the next 4 at home. Like I said, yeah, you have you're playing the best teams in the league here. This is a kind of a statement 2-week period here to show whether this team's going to be a title contender or not.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I mean. On the flip side of this thing, if you go get tonight's game and you just figure early in the season, they're going to put themselves in a good spot to really contend in the Mountain West Conference. And it'd be nice going down to Viejas with a little bit of confidence coming out of this game too, versus feeling like your backs are really against the wall. I do think they respond tonight. I do. I think they respond tonight. I think they've been back, for a couple of days now, and it's good to be back home. And they've been, comfort of sleeping in your own bed, shooting on the rims that you've shot 50,000 times or however many on during, the course of since you got back on campus from the summer, right? So I think that I do like their chances of bouncing back tonight. And yeah, with the exception of that one game, which apparently we're going to have to preface all season long. With the exception of that, Boise State's been pretty tough at home this season.
Hopefully we've learned our lesson about living and dying by the threes. I say drive it and get the Lobos into foul trouble. Easier said than done. Their defense is literally designed to not let you do that.
Yeah. Easier said than done, but you also can't just sit back and let a defense completely dictate what you do, right? You just can't completely get away from your game. So they'll have to figure it out. And I will say this too. This team has done a pretty good job of getting to the free throw line. They need to make more free throws than they did at Nevada. That's for sure. They shot 31, only made 19, which, shooting 61.3% or whatever it was down at against the Wolfpack is one of their worst shooting percentages from the free throw line this season. In fact, it might be actually looking at it real quick. It was their worst. It was their worst shooting percentage at the free throw line this season. On the flip side of that, they've shot at a high clip from home. They shoot a lot of free throws at home. And so maybe that helps. But really, this team shoots a lot of free throws wherever they go this year.
They do, and I'm looking at that right now. Free throw. Boise State gets 24.5% of their points from free throws. That's 29th best in the country, Jay.
Yeah. I mean, this team is pretty good at that. So we'll see how they can attack. And maybe, I'm not saying home whistle, but let's face it, wherever the heck you go, there's usually at least a little bit of a whistle that leans in favor of the home team.
Yeah,
so
you'd hope so.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking who the refs are. I have no idea. I don't know if Jay got the early game sheet, but no idea who the refs are tonight. We'll see. But there are 5.
Everybody on earth literally knows that you are the first and only person that truly cares about that there, BJ Raines.
That's not true. Jeff Grammer. I mean, I think real college basketball fans and folks know that refs make a hey, all I'll say is a Mountain West ref probably calls a foul on Dylan Andrews in the St. Mary's game, like a lower you have the number 1 ranked ref in America, and he saw the guy tripping and let that play go.
I'll give you credit for that one.
I definitely think if you get there's a difference between really crappy refs and good refs, and they understand and feel the situation, feel the game. The problem is there are 5 Mountain West games tonight, or 4 maybe, 4 or 5, and there's a lot of games around the country tonight, so that usually means maybe not going to get the A crew, but I don't know. And 9 p.m. game, maybe it lets a ref that was further away, make it in time. I don't know. But yeah, we'll find out. That's certainly a factor. He's Jay Tust. My name is BJ Raines. This is Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. I'm in the Sun Cruiser studios. We appreciate all you guys for your support of BNN. Make sure you go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. We got our 50% off winter sale going on right now. I do want to talk football and transfer portal news in a second with Jay, but first, the 9 p.m. start time, Leon Rice, RJ Keene. What are their thoughts on playing this game at 9 p.m. tonight?
And that you go to these places in the Mountain West, we've talked about it a million times, is they're such hard places to play. There's great crowd, there's great energy. It influences the game, and it influences your players. And so we need a great crowd. It's, it seems like a good time. There's no students here, but we need Boise to come out because this is a really good New Mexico team. And this is a really good Boise team. And like I said, the team that has a really good game is the one that's going to get it done. And our fans help us.
Oh, yeah, we need them to come out. I mean, the 9 p.m. game's not tough on us players, but it's more tough on our families. Because, I mean, I got my grandma in Central Time Zone. We're going to stay up late as can be. Like, she needs to be in bed. But I know it's TV slots, and the fans are going to come watch some good hoops. It's our last home game ever against New Mexico, potentially. So, I mean, why not come out and watch that?
Yeah, I mean, you're a prisoner a bit to the television. I mean, given our choice, we'd never, ever choose that for our fans, first of all, because a lot of families come. Now, the good thing is it's over the holidays, I think. Kids back in school, I don't think so. So they can stay up late for one night and enjoy take a nap during the day. But no, it's not the ideal time, and it's not, but that always seems to be what wins out.
9 p.m., Jay. What do you make? Winter break, 9 p.m. I guess the trade-off is maybe when you go to San Diego State on Saturday, their students won't be back in session yet. I don't know. So maybe you get a little, these early Christmas games kind of hit or miss where you go. But 2 home games in a row. You got the Grand Canyon game next Wednesday also at 9. Kind of a raw deal here.
Anytime any of us see a 9 p.m. tip-off, we roll our eyes. I mean, it is what it is, right? I think the only thing that you hope is maybe the road team knowing that they still got to travel somewhere afterwards, super late. Maybe it weighs on them a little bit more than it weighs on the hometown team. They got to figure out a way to sit in their hotel room all day and entertain themselves or whatever it might be. So I don't know. We're all just trying to find excuses that favor the team that we either cover or root for or whatever right now. So 9 p.m. tips aren't ideal, though, obviously.
Well, and it's for RJ's grandma, like he said in the comment there. Why is
more than anybody
trying to aggravate RJ's grandma? He said, "Bless your heart, looking out for your grandma. She needs to be in bed." I chuckled when he said that live, and I chuckled when I heard it there. That was protect RJ's grandma. There, the hashtag is started here, but yeah, I mean my wife and kids are actually still in St. Louis for a couple extra days, taking advantage of the break here. I came back for the game tonight, but it's a 10 p.m. start there in St. Louis. So and you're on our boy Tom Moser, now an employee here at Bronco Nation News, doing this Night in the Mountain West show. He lives on the East Coast. So he's going to be starting his show tonight around 1 a.m. on the East Coast. So these late games aren't good for anybody, but I do hope, Jay, for the team's sake, that it may not be a sellout tonight, but those that show up obviously bring some energy, and hopefully there's a good atmosphere in there.
Yeah, usually there is. And I will say, like, I even like related to like the Mountain West Conference Championship game. Like, no, it wasn't a sellout. Yeah, they had 27,000 people in there, but UNLV's still had like 5 false starts or whatever it was. I will say, like, usually the concentrated members of Bronco Nation that really lean into these games, they're going to be loud, whether they're just shy of a sellout or absolutely filling that thing. So I would expect Boise State to. I'm not predicting a sellout or anything close to it tonight, but I will predict that the members that are there will make it hard for New Mexico to play tonight.
All right, 9 p.m. start. The game is on FS1. We'll get you going with the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show at 8 p.m. Abe Jackson will join me at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. We'll kick off the pregame show. We'll have Nathan on. We'll have Johnny on, I believe. Who knows if Jay's strolling around and grabs a headset for a few minutes. So 8 p.m. tonight. We'll go about an hour and get you set for tip-off tonight. The game is on FS1 at 9 o'clock. But again, started off with us at 8 o'clock tonight on Bronco Nation News. And we will have the full post-game show. Tom Moser is going to go live right when the game ends. It's the last game in the Mountain West tonight. So as soon as the game goes live or goes final, you can jump on Bronco Nation News. Tom Moser is going to go live. He'll give his thoughts on this game, on all the games tonight in the Mountain West. You do have a couple interesting games. And then we'll go do our post-game interviews with Coach Rice, with some players. And then we'll pop on about 30 to 45 minutes after the game, like we usually do with our Jackson's post-game show here on Bronco Nation News. All right, let's talk football. Caleb Annett to the transfer portal. What does it mean? I got a lot of football questions here in the final 10 minutes or so with Jay coming up in just a second. But first, our Sun Cruiser Studios. We appreciate Sun Cruiser for their support of Bronco Nation News. Real iced tea, real vodka. Love this drink. First started drinking it down in Las Vegas at Circa, and it's just perfect kind of day drinking beverage or golf beverage. Perfect. No carbs and or no carbonation, I should say. Low carb, low calorie. Really love Sun Cruiser. If you've never had it, I really highly recommend it. The vodka iced teas are great. I love the strawberry lemonade flavor. They have 2 versions, the iced tea version and then just the lemonade vodka versions as well. So get on out to your local store and find those today. Sun Cruiser, our studio sponsor. Hey, rowpaint.com, 20% off their winter painting projects. Hit up Andy Rowe and Company, our title sponsor. Rowpaint.com, interior, exterior painting, 20% off those concrete coatings. Hit them up at rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. They got 7 NIL deals. You see some football players there, Pearson Carmichael as well. We appreciate Idaho Central Credit Union. Go online, ICCU.com, check them out. And you can also, stop by a branch. Pretty much every corner has one, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check them out, Idaho Central Credit Union. Hey, don't forget 99 cent with Let's Go Rewards, coffee or hot chocolate. 99 cents with Let's Go Rewards. You can get a coffee or a hot chocolate, a small 16-ounce, refills up to 16 ounce as well. And again, that's using your Let's Go Rewards app. 99 cent coffee or hot chocolate from our friends at Jackson's. We appreciate Jackson's, our post-game show sponsor here on Bronco Nation News. Taco Bell, 83 points, Jay. Can they get there tonight? 83 points gets you a free taco tomorrow at Taco Bell with your ticket stub from tonight. So if the Broncos can get 83 or more in tonight's game, and you have a ticket to tonight's game, you get to go to a local Treasure Valley Taco Bell location tomorrow and get a free taco courtesy of our friends at Taco Bell. And Jay mentioned the Blue and Orange store doing tremendous stuff there at that new location there at the Allen Noble Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com. You can check them out anywhere in the world, make those mobile online orders, or just check out their 2 locations there at the Boise Town Square Mall or the Allen Noble Hall of Fame, where they've got more than 4,000 hats on their hat wall there down, and you maybe even get lucky and see Jay in the lobby there walking around the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com. And one more sponsor I want to thank right now, and that is our friends over at Lithia Ford of Boise. They've got to get some 2025 models off the lot so they can make way for 26s. They've got some great deals going on right now. 0% APR for 60 months, 0 down, and that's on the F-150s, the Escapes, the Explorers, Lightning, Transit vans. I believe Jay Tust is rocking a vehicle for the family over there from Lithia Ford of Boise. So I know you had great customer service and experience over there, Jay. You're a big fan of Jim Sturk and all of Ford dealers in town and Lithia Ford of Boise. So we appreciate them. They're stepping up. We'll tell you more about it on January 1st, but they're stepping up in a big way with Bronco Nation News as well. And I know they've stepped up with, in all the Treasure Valley Ford dealers with Bronco Studios. So we always love Jim Sturk, Lithia Ford, and Ford in general.
Amen. Jim and his crew are the best, man. It's been awesome to work with them and have that Ford logo outside Bronco Studios. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Love everything they're doing and appreciate them. We'll tell you more about them moving forward. But Jay, Caleb Annett goes to the transfer portal. I said on yesterday's show that I would be shocked if it didn't happen. It just doesn't make sense for him. Nothing against him, but you already got passed by a couple of guys on the depth chart. Didn't look like an easy path for him to get playing time. Go somewhere where you want to play. Both sides probably think it's for the best. So not really surprised by it at all, but it does now open up a spot, and a lot of fans are saying, go get a portal QB, get some competition in here. And Spencer's been pretty adamant that they don't need to do that. They like who they have. They believe in the quarterbacks they have. We're not going to go into the portal to get a quarterback. But now that one leaves, that does change the math, change the situation, the scenario from when he has talked about this in the past. Do you think they go add a quarterback? Do they add a quarterback that is good enough to compete, to play? Is it a depth thing? And what do you make of Caleb Annett, deciding to head out?
How much does it really change things?
I mean, you have a spot. I mean,
I get you also brought in 2 true freshmen for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying,
I think some fans will be disappointed if they now had a quarterback on scholarship leave. They have a spot available, and if they don't choose not to address the quarterback spot, even with a depth guy to compete. I mean, I think people just want somebody, just bring in somebody that's JUCO or FCS or somebody just to compete. And if Maddox Matson's still the best guy, okay, we trust you. Great, he's the best option we have. But at least try to get a little more competition in there. I know they love Cash Herrera and Jackson Taylor. That's a tall ask to ask either of those guys to legitimately be ready next year to compete for the starting spot. So you're really looking at, for this year, Max Cutforth and Maddox Madsen. Are they, as they said, are they happy with that? They're not going to worry about it. They use that somewhere else, or they try to go get somebody and improve that competition there.
I just I still feel like we talk about some of these subjects with the old rules of college football, not the new rules of college football. And I have no freaking clue, but I'm going to guess that Caleb wasn't warranting much, in terms of in the NIL space or anything like that.
No.
So now when, there are fans that say, go out and get someone, it's not going out and showing somebody how awesome Boise is and how they can thrive here like it was, when 10 years ago. That is part of it, don't get me wrong, but now there is, well, what can you offer somebody? To just think you are going to go out and find somebody that's going to immediately come in here and compete against a guy that, again, love it or hate it, has never lost a Mountain West game in which he started and finished. And not, you're going to have to probably, find a way to fund that competition, let's call it. And I don't know. I just don't know how much Caleb, one way or the other, really impacts, what the QB room looks like. Maddox is your starter. Max is now your experienced backup. And let's face it, man, Zeke Martinez went in season. I don't know if I'd say QB3 completely, but he was either QB3A or B, whatever you want to call it, with Caleb. So, he put himself in a position to contend for that spot. And now you're bringing in 2 pretty highly touted true freshmen. So, either way, you have more quarterbacks in that room next year than you did this year, and the same amount of scholarship guys, because Caleb was on scholarship, and now you're adding 2 scholarship guys as true freshmen. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't know if it. I could be wrong. I just don't know if it does much for me. I'm not one way or the other, I'm not like super panicked about it. And I still think that also the way that it's tiered out now, you have Maddox Madsen's going to be your senior. Max Cutforth is going to be your junior. And then you have Zeke as your redshirt freshman. And then now you have 2 true freshmen. So it's actually tiered out, pretty good at this point in terms of what you're dealing with currently and in the future for that matter. And on top of that, man, both Cash and Jackson are coming in early, right? Like you're going to want those guys to get some reps, and spring ball is a perfect way to do that.
5 QBs going for spring ball, yeah.
So if you bring in another guy, and maybe they are. Maybe they're going to go out. And I have no clue. I promise. Like I got no idea. I'm just saying, as I look at it right now, that's just like.
And I would say they do have.
I think you want to be a developmental program, and you really believe in these true freshmen and stuff. Like you also want time to pour into those guys, and I also think like there are. You don't want to be hypocritical either. Like you recruit, and I know it's always about competition, and I get it, but how many times do programs right now recruit these true freshmen and they go out and they buy a guy and it puts them in a completely different position? And so I don't know. I just think there's more to it. I think the reactionary thing is to see, quarterback enters transfer portal, go get a starting quarterback. I think that's just a reactionary thing, man. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be right. I could be very, very wrong. But that's just the way that I see it.
Oh, I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying there. I do believe that they're pretty set on Maddox Madsen being their starter next year. And so I guess it comes down to, is Max Cutforth in your mind a good enough number 2 that if there were an injury or something to Maddox, do you feel confident enough that Max Cutforth could win games for you?
The whole discussion has to evolve. We can't talk about it like we once did when it came to just recruiting, and people were offering scholarships, and that certain programs, there was money coming in through the back door. But I still think there was enough pushback by the NCAA at times that at least there were certain programs that, maybe were worried about doing that. Now it's just a completely different discussion. Like with so many of these opportunities, right. And I might be jumping to conclusions, and I apologize if I am, but case in point, like the UNLV, their starting quarterback in mid-December says, I like you here. I don't want to deal with the portal again. I'm coming back. 11 days later, all of a sudden he's in the portal. What do you think happened in those 11 days? And again, maybe I shouldn't be jumping to conclusions or anything. And I don't fault the kid. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying that they're obviously, somebody got to somebody, because he seemed pretty happy 11 days before saying that, I'm going to go test out the portal. And again, I do not fault the kid.
You also saw yesterday an agency announced they've signed Ty Benefield or whatever to represent him all of a sudden. You can't tell me that they weren't talking to him before that about what they could probably get him if he signed with them and entered the portal.
That's probably. And those are like again, what you hear. First off, Ty's a phenomenal football player. I got a lot of confidence wherever he winds up. He is. The thing about Ty is Ty plays the game the right freaking way, man. All you're going to hear when people talk about Ty right now being in the portal are his 100 tackles and near double-digit tackles for loss. And, statistically, he was arguably the most productive safety in college football last year. But the thing about Ty, like, if you know him, we watch him practice a lot, BJ. We see not necessarily the play that he makes in the game, but in between plays. I loved watching Ty Benefield in between plays because of how quickly he moved on to the next play. Special guy. But that is one of those situations where, there's an agency out there promising something, and I hope it works out for him. A great kid, awesome family, hell of a football player.
Yeah, no doubt. You're probably right on the quarterback situation, and they do, as a couple people pointed out, have much bigger needs. And when you only have a certain amount of money to allocate, they've got safety now.
It is not an endless or a bottomless chest of money that some of these schools have. And
Yep.
even you hear about the 20.5 million or whatever it is in rev share, there are still schools that are using NIL to completely supplement that. And I mean, I think it was on 3. I can't remember. I tweeted it over sometime near Christmas. They actually published.
We don't say that company's name on the show, Jay. Come on.
Well, I mean, if you happen to run into it on social media, I mean, clearly 247 is where it's at. But if you happen to run into them somewhere on social media, they published, something about, salaries that, average players are getting and things like that. And I'm like, anytime you want to take to social media and say, we got to replace this guy, you have to be okay with understanding it comes with a heavy cost at times, depending on what position that is.
Yeah, no doubt. One quick voicemail, Jay. Bill wants to chime in on the Signature Roofing voice inbox. Give me a thumbs up if you can hopefully hear this.
Hey, BJ, one thing I wanted to give a thought on, because I've seen a lot of discourse about this from fans, and I think it's misguided, is there's a lot of people that seem to be freaking out about guys hitting the portal. And I think fans need to realize that as long as you're not having a mass exodus of starters, which we are not having, and it's mainly guys getting in the portal who aren't playing or have barely played, that is a good thing. That is a healthy thing. I mean, here's the reality of it, right? This roster last year had talent depth issues, and I think Spencer certainly sees that. He needs time to get his full kind of cast of guys in there. But, there's a reason that he signed 29 guys in this upcoming recruiting class. He recognizes that they need to get better across the board and deeper across the board. That's why he signed so many guys. And then with that, I believe Nathan did the analysis that, heading into this transfer portal cycle, we only had one roster spot available or one scholarship spot available. So what happens now? You have a big freshman class coming in. That's great. Then you need to have tough conversations with the guys on the team who just aren't going to cut it or aren't going to play. Politely tell them they're better off going elsewhere so you can free up more roster spots so Spencer can attack the portal how he wants to. So I think people need to realize that roster turnover is very healthy. Again, as long as you're not losing your starters or a bunch of them, which we aren't, right? So I think he's doing a good job building the roster. Because again, I think he's seen after last season that we need to get better and deeper in a lot of spots, and rotating the bottom guys to bring in new guys is the best way to do it. So
always good stuff from Bill.
Is Bill on Twitter? We need to hear more
Bill. I think it's BSU Bill.
Oh, BSU Bill. Okay. As I say, we need to actually, Bill, you need to speak up more, because I think that was a perfectly rational thing to say in a very irrational time in college football, and how fans, and I'm not going to tell you how to fan, but how fans can react to some of these things. QB gone, go get starting QB. Well, he was like third or fourth string. Get a starter. Well, that's not the way that it works anymore. Like it's not. And I think a perfect example, BSU Bill. And I was gonna tweet about this eventually here. Go look at JMU's starting offense. A JMU bound college football, a JMU college football playoff team, and their starting 11 on offense. I believe it's something like 7 or 8 are entering the transfer portal, and 3 or 4 are graduating. JMU that went to the college football playoff this year will basically be replacing all 11 of their offensive starters next year. And if you go back and you look at what Boise State did coming out of the college football playoff, man, that shows you, JMU shows you there is obviously demand for your players if you get to that level. Side note, do we need to be, if we're concerned about their safety when they're competing against Power 4 teams, BJ, do we have to be concerned about their safety when they're competing for Power 4 teams? That's a discussion for another day.
That was which idiot said that?
I don't know. I can't remember, but just annoying as hell. That's so stupid. It literally shows you that there is a difference in money, but in terms of talent at times, there's no difference. And people and those powerful programs want your players. Like a great example of that. Anyways, lost my train of thought there for a second.
Hey, you and Blake, man, JUCO baseball guys together there. How about that?
I think that there a little roster turnover is healthy, because it also shows you that I think you have guys at the top of the depth chart that are earning it. But I think a little roster turnover is healthy. I think that, I'd almost be concerned if there was no roster turnover, because you also want guys that are pushing out to play at another spot, and that opens up guys to come in and develop, as BSU Bill kind of implied. So I think that the roster retention, I know it's a little sensitive right now because Boise State lost a good one over the weekend, but I think that, it's been pretty good here at Boise State. They have good people in place. They're finding ways to do more with less. And in case they're also, I think the thing that I love about them right now more than anything is they're not just comfortable with doing more with less, because they see what can happen when they can do more with more. So they're always pushing and fighting to do more. And, like I said, go look at what JMU is about to lose in terms of their offense, and then go back and look at what Boise State brought back off a college football playoff team. The roster retention is pretty healthy, in my opinion. Here.
Now, they did lose their coach. JMU did lose their coach, which
fair enough.
That. But your point's valid, no doubt. Are you doing a New Year's Eve show tomorrow, or what's the upcoming plan here for Bronco Studios?
Probably not tomorrow, but we'll be back sooner than later. Let's just say that. So,
all right.
I'll be at the game tonight though, and we'll have our recap and all that jazz, and it'll be fun. It's been quiet, man. I'm looking forward to getting out and covering a freaking game tonight.
Yeah. Now tonight, my family's not here, so I don't really care. But the 9 p.m. games, I've heard some people say, "Oh, I can actually go to dinner or take my kids, go put my kids to bed." And then
I will say that was one thing that I did think.
Game,
I could probably still have dinner with the kiddos tonight and even put one of them to bed before I actually have to go down to the game. So we'll see how that goes. But,
appreciate it, Jay. Mr. Buchanan, by the way, he overslept a little and came in late to the show. It's okay. It's always he says it's super cold.
On demand. It's super cold here, John.
He's calling it a Sun Cruiser game day. I like that. We got John on the Sun Cruisers. He's enjoying that, and he did say nice hat, Jay. So
thanks, John.
Always appreciate the Buchanan family, and always appreciate everybody for checking us out. Jay, I'm going to keep it going a little bit, and we'll let you roll. I know you got a lot to work on, so thank you for jumping on today, and we'll talk to you next week. We got to discuss off air. We talked maybe about switching days of the week. We'll figure all that out. We got some little stuff, kind of as I said, with some changes to BNN. We're moving some stuff around, so we'll have Jay. It's 1 day a week moving forward. We just got to figure out which day. But Jay, appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on, and we will see you tonight at. Oh, by the way, before you go, somebody was asking, the big storyline here. Last home game, I think you'd already left with the football team for the bowl game. I don't remember if you were there or not, but there was a big controversy about Johnny Ballgame bringing a date to
I was there. Yeah.
Okay.
And you actually rejogged my memory there. I'm gonna send you guys a picture, because there was a corner 3 that, as I was tracking the ball going up in the air, you see Johnny and his lovely lady, and Johnny's calling the fact that it's going in with his hand. So it's good stuff. Man,
Johnny can be a little more.
He's a great dude.
John, we love Johnny, but Surf City Bill says, will Johnny be sitting in JD's seats? Will he be wearing the rented sport coat? That's obviously the big storyline.
Hey, he owns that sport coat. Thank you very much.
He says he'll stay up late if Johnny is in JD's seats again. Now, we did ask JD about that, and he said, when security called him and asked if they should have the person removed, he looked and saw that it was Johnny and decided for the rest of the game it was okay. But that is – you're an employee at Boise State now, Jay. I still can't in a million years ever picture you and your wife sitting in JD's seats at a basketball game. Like, the fact that on a first date or a date you take a gal in a game that you should be working at, and they're on work duties, and he even had his backpack with him. He had his backpack. He got in with his press pass.
Yeah. Let's not get caught up in date number. I don't want to get into sources say it was the first date or the 10th date or whatever there, man. Like, it's a slippery slope. So I'm not.
Well, we know the head football coach is always interested. So if he's interested, we got to be interested in what's going on. But that's the big storyline tonight. Johnny, will he be working? Will he be there on a date? Will he be seated in Jeremiah Dickey's seats? I guess we'll find out. But Jay, appreciate you. And somebody said they want all 3 of us in bright blue sport coats at the same game sometime this year. That ain't happening. You'll get me in a sport coat for a basketball game if it's like the Mountain West tournament or the postseason, but regular season, probably not a sport coat. We'll see.
I agree.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
There he is, Jay Tust. You'll see him tonight. Extra Mile Arena. You see him on social media. Bronco Studios does a great job. You can check them out. Bronco Studios on the Boise State Athletics YouTube channel. You can check them out, and they'll have all their different options and things. If you got a score prediction or a thought for tonight, keep it going. Do have a couple great sponsors that I want to continue to thank, and I got nowhere to go really. I'm actually going to have lunch today with Jeff Grammer of the Albuquerque Journal. Good dude. I know we had some fun on Twitter about the asterisk for the attendance and all that, but Jeff's actually a pretty good dude, a great dude, and he's in town to cover the game tonight. He's going to be helping us out with the Another Night in the Mountain West show, so we're going to have lunch today, and be good to see Jeff Grammer of the Albuquerque Journal. If you see Jeff out in public today, make sure you bow down to Jeff Grammer being in our great town today. But Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate, number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. We bought and sold our home using Matt and his team. Tremendous customer service every step of the way. We appreciate Matt and Bauscher Real Estate online, BauscherRealEstate.com. Hey, Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. They've been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team, whether it's a sauna, whether it's a spa, so many tremendous options and things that they can do for you. And we appreciate the spa team. They've been on board with us for about 18 months. Their sponsorship actually is ending on December 31st. That was the terms of the deal, and we appreciate them and tell you more a little bit about them tomorrow. But appreciate Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game for their support of BNN the last 18 months, and it's been great. We got a spa from them, and my kids are loving it. We've had no issues with it. Tremendous stuff. We appreciate Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game, and I highly, highly recommend visiting one of their 4 locations if you're looking to get a spa. And it's a game changer for your back patio, your backyard, and I highly, highly recommend Snake River Pool and Spa Patio and Game. Was first class every step of the way, and we appreciate them. Again, online, you can do that at thespateam.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. 13 locations in the state of Idaho. You can check them out at shopridleys.com. Ridley's Family Markets. Again, download that Skip app, save up to 40% off from the checkout line from our friends at Ridley's Family Markets. Hey, transportation compliance service, transcomservice.com. Get into the trucking industry with transcomservice.com. Maybe you've never thought of them, but highly, highly recommend transportation compliance service. You never thought of a career in the trucking industry, but it's a perfect time. Transportation Compliance Service. They're a local company helping out folks all over the world. Transcomservice.com. I mentioned Signature Roofing. They're going to be sponsoring the Signature Roofing scoreboard update. That'll start on the pregame show tonight. And moving forward in 2026, the Signature Roofing scoreboard update, as well as our voice inbox here at speakpipe.com. We had Bill. We had Tyson from Lewiston yesterday. And if we can get a voicemail, at least one every day, that'd be great. And we are giving away some prizes. Our first one will be on Friday. It's the new year. We're starting it off, and we've got some cool gift cards and things to give away. I'll have to look through the bundle here and see what I have for the first week. But we'll go probably $25 to somewhere cool. Maybe the James. We'll find something here for Friday for our voicemails. But Signature Roofing online at mysignatureroofing.com. Whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, or an inspection, they got you covered online at mysignatureroofing.com. You can check them out at mysignatureroofing.com. We got, like I said, some cool, let's see here. Where are we at? Here we go. There we go. I got the new microphone. We got some new graphics debuting tonight on the pregame show, postgame show, a whole new set of graphics and sponsors and things starting on January 1st. So a lot of cool things going on with Bronco Nation News. Excited to tell you more about that. Excited to start our defensive player of the game from Element Fencing tonight as well. So you guys, make this thing happen. So you support our sponsors. You tell our sponsors that you appreciate them for supporting us, and you guys make folks want to invest their business dollars in sponsoring BNN, and that allows us to cover this team like nobody else in the Valley. Frankly, we'll be the only media outlet on Saturday at San Diego State, other than Bob and Abe on the radio side and KTIK. No other paper TV station will be there. We'll be there for Bronco Nation News. The following week, they go a couple road games. They go to UNLV. Looking forward, obviously, to getting down and seeing our friends at Circa. But appreciate all of you that are supporting our sponsors and allowing for our coverage and making stuff like this possible. New mic definitely brings some crispness to the sound element here. Great move. I don't know about you guys. The only problem I'm having is, and I don't know if it's my computer, my internet. I mean, I upgraded to the fiber internet. I have like the fastest internet that's physically possible in Boise right now. The only problem is it doesn't seem like it's 100%. My voice and the audio doesn't seem to be 100% synced sometimes when I rewatch the show on YouTube. So I don't know if that's a small deal for you guys or a big deal for you guys, if it's just something you don't even notice. But I don't know if you're seeing, anything in terms of there a delay with the sound or my voice or it not syncing up or lining up, but hopefully it's not a major thing. I don't know I don't know the cause for that. I'm on high quality video. I'm on high quality internet. Now I have a high quality, audio. Says never noticed. So that's good. That's good. Now you're going to start noticing. I shouldn't have said anything, but either way, we're like I said, trying to improve some of the technology here and some of the things that we have planned at BNN. And we have that may mean juggling a couple of the days of the week for a couple of the hosts, may mean some other things, but super excited and appreciate to all of you. I wish I could tell you, have not noticed any delay during live YouTube. All right, that's good to know. Surf City Bill, appreciate that. Syncs perfect during live. No issues that I've seen. Okay, there you go. That's good to know. Whenever I watch it, it seems like there's a small delay of some sort, and it doesn't usually sync up perfectly. But happy to hear that's not necessarily the case, or it's not. If it is, it's not noticeable enough that it's a big deal. So I appreciate. Brian says I usually refresh the stream, and that fixes it. Okay, good to know. I guess. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, excited for the game tonight. I have as you guys know, I have the gift of gab, so to speak. I enjoy talking, and it's really hard for me to keep stuff under wraps when I know stuff and stuff's happening. And I've been working for 3 weeks on some cool stuff in terms of some sponsor changes and some new things that we've been working on. And so I'm very proud of myself that I've made it till December 30th and nothing has come out early. And I haven't said anything too much, but there are some, I leaked, I got a little close, but for the most part, I've done a pretty good job. As I said, we will have a show on New Year's Day. If you want to start off your New Year's Day with Johnny and I, we will have a show. And you know what? Good question here. I talked to Jay about this. There's going to be an announcement coming on this. Just with the holidays and a lot going on. It's been football bowl game. It's been very weird. We did not forget about this. We are 100% making the $300 donation to charity. Anyone that wants to match it, we will tell you more about this moving forward. I will make that my goal by next Tuesday's show to have that finalized. So that's I'm glad you brought that up because I actually did talk to Jay about that. I want to lock that down and get it done. And like I said, it's just been a weird month and a lot going on, but we are 100% following through with our donation, $300 to the charity of Jay's choice. And we'll let you know what it is so others can match it as well for when Jay had some fun on the Mountain West broadcast. And I believe there might be another game where he's doing it in a couple weeks, and we'll see if we can try to do that again. But I thank you for bringing that up. And yes, I am 100% a man of my word. I tell you I'm going to make a donation. I am. We're just trying to finalize which charity Jay wants to give it to. And that is coming here in the very near future. So appreciate that. Congrats on all the growth over a few short years at BNN. Spend too much time listening and watching. Appreciate that. Very appreciative of that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I've said this before, but I've got much bigger goals. Like I would love to make BNN a network where it's on your TV or it's got an app where there's live content, 24/7, or maybe we buy access and rights to old games and we just play old Boise State games on our channel throughout the day. And I'd love to have my show be from 9 to 10 and somebody else have a show from 10 to 11 or somebody else have a show from 2 to 3. Like I would love to have live content all day, every day on Bronco Nation News at some point. Right now it's me hosting the show for an hour with various guests, but I would love to get to a point where Prater and Johnny have an hour from 9 to 10. And then the Jay Tust show, I mean, that's probably not happening now because he's with Bronco Studios, but if we can hire more people, more former coaches, maybe during football season, the Riley and Ridge show is every day, not just on Mondays, or maybe Brad Bedell has a half an hour show every day. I don't know. That's probably it's a long-term goal, probably a pipe dream in some aspects, but I would love to get more live programming on Bronco Nation News. And I'm always open to suggestions, open to ideas. We have a lot of former players and coaches that still live in this town and are interested in doing stuff like this. I mean, heck, you saw how great Alexander Tubner was when he filled in. Now he's going to play in Canada and things like that. And I can't obviously offer any full-time jobs right now to anybody, but that would be the goal, to get a full-time host that can help do a lot of this stuff and even travel some with me and make the broadcast a lot better. So we've got big time goals. Like I said, one of them would be, yes, more live videos, more live shows. I love that we have a daily morning show. I mean, I don't know how many in the country are like this, where you have a daily morning show that only talks, about the college team in town. I mean, we go pretty much 45 minutes to an hour every single day talking Boise State sports, and that's pretty crazy when you think about it. And it's thanks to all you guys for making this part of your day and helping with the views and watching these shows and telling your friends to watch these shows and spreading the word. And like I said, supporting the sponsors and subscribing. Like, I couldn't do a daily show, and that's why we are trying this Mountain West show. I want to expand. Tom Moser, just a podcaster, blogger, whatever you want to call it, just a fan of the Mountain West basketball, and started his own show and did a pretty good job. And I said, well, let's try to, let's try to see what happens. So we have a new YouTube channel. We have that show. And I think we would like to try to continue to expand things like that, Mountain West shows and things like that. So increased focus on the women's sports. Yeah, that would be that'd be something we would love to do. Got to find the right host for that and see how much we could do it. But certainly the women's sports at Boise State deserve a lot of coverage. No doubt about it. And I'm not sure if that's just a random, a weekly show designed to women's sports. I don't know, but that's certainly something I've thought about and would love to make that happen, because whether it's softball or soccer or volleyball, women's basketball at times, that's certainly something that they deserve the coverage. Cross country, track. I mean, there's a lot of great women's sports at Boise State that we'd love to give some more coverage to. It's not quite this easy. I mean, I don't know if you guys understand kind of how all this stuff works, but I can't just call up Maddox Madsen and go interview him. I can't just call up Sire Gaines and go hang out with him at the gym and interview him and write a story about him training in the off season. That's just not how it works. You have to go through Boise State. You have to reach out to their sports information department ahead of time, set up the interview with them. They're there during the interview. It's not just, pro sports is a little different. You get a guy's phone number, you can call him up. Like Spencer Danielson, I can't just call him up and interview him for a story. Like, now he is one of the coaches that will text you back and you can talk to him off the record about stuff or whatever. Like Spencer's great, on that kind of stuff. Leon, all these guys, like they're great, but you can't just, it doesn't really work that way in terms of, and I'm not criticizing anybody that doesn't know or anything like that. It is just kind of telling you how it works. I can't, Javen Buchanan's, dad's in the chat here. I can't just call up Javen Buchanan tomorrow and try to get an interview. Like the Signature Roofing RJ Keene show is a little different when you have an NIL component to it, and that's set up through a contract and stuff. You do have a little more freedom with some of that stuff to bring him on, but you still kind of have to get approval from Boise State and some of that stuff. But it's not as easy as just, oh, sweet. Yeah, we tried that numerous times when Brian Harsin was here and some of these former coaches. Like, I had idea to go watch film with Brett Rippon. I wanted to go watch film with Brett Rippon, and this was in like June, and just see what he looks at on some of these coverages and how he does that. And I'd still love to do that with Maddox Madsen at some point. I have had these ideas, but the coach has to approve it. The SID has to approve it, and different coaches, different SIDs are willing to approve different things. And so, yes, would I love to go do a story on Sire Gaines training in the weight room in the summer? That would be awesome. Would I love to do a story about the offensive line going to a pizza buffet and seeing how much pizza they can throw down? I would love that. But it's just not quite that easy sometimes. You have to get the approval of Boise State. They control all the interviews, and that's kind of how it works. So they've been pretty good. I mean, I'll be honest, but I really appreciate Chris and David and Alex and Jordan on the basketball side and Craig and the whole crew over there. They've been very good. It's been a healthy, I would say healthy and very positive, and they do what they can to help you out. And you go some places, some SIDs, or don't even ask the coach when they tell you. And sometimes it's just, you ask for a request and it never got to the person. And so sometimes it's tough, but I would say the current group is doing a really nice job of trying to help us out and work with us on things. And it's been nice, from that standpoint. So I do appreciate the SIDs, and I have nothing but positive things to say about all them and how they're helping us at BNN, because we are kind of a unique spot here. And I think being with 247 Sports has helped our credibility and helped us a little bit, but we're, an independent outlet, or now I guess we're with 247, but we were an independent outlet for 4 years. And so that can make it tough at times. But I appreciate all the SIDs, all the Mountain West SIDs that have been very helpful with us throughout this journey. So yeah, we got a lot of great ideas. Like I said, more live programming is the goal by next year's football season. I would love to have a second daily live show, but it doesn't make sense for me to host 2 shows, like one show with Jay and then one show with somebody else. I would love for somebody else to be able to host a show, and maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays it's Winston and Brad together, and maybe on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays it's this guy and this guy. I don't know. But I would love to get to a point, if we can continue to get the subscriber base up. We need 14 more subscribers, just being completely honest with you. If we can get 14 more paid subscribers, right now we're at our 50% off deal is still going on, half off an annual subscription to Bronco Nation News. But we had kind of guidelines and goals, and I wouldn't say it was like requirements. It was just like, hey, this is where we'd like to try to be at after year 1. Subscriber wise, this is where we'd like to try to be after year 2. When they kind of put in the contract and guarantees and money and all that, there was kind of some areas, the targets that they hoped that we would be at. And we are 16 subscribers away from our goal for 2 years. 2 years in 6 months. I mean, that's a tip of the cap to all you guys. And I mean, I couldn't have done this without you. And it's been a great success so far, but we are in 6 months. We have not only surpassed our year 1 goals with 247 Sports, we're 16 subscribers from hitting our year 2 goal in 6 months. So thank you to all of you that have subscribed. If you haven't, it's 50% off right now. One of our best offers, only $5 a month if you jump in on the annual rate for Bronco Nation News. We're not allowed to sell these hats. I know a lot of you ask about it. Long story, not trying to be negative towards Boise State, not trying to rip on anybody. Just one of the agreements when they approved the Bronco Nation News logo and when they approved the brand and me starting Bronco Nation News, one of the stipulations, I guess, or things was I can't sell merchandise, just being honest. And do I want to take that to court? Would I win? There's trademarks. Like, I don't know. And it's not really worth poking the bear, whatever. Do I wish I could sell these hats? Yes. Is there a way that I could maybe work around it and add some sort of package to a subscription that includes a hat that the hat is free? I don't, somebody has some great ideas. Let me know. I would love to find a way to give out some of these hats, but I certainly do not want to lose money on these hats. And these are hats that are not cheap. Actually, it's like a $35 hat that I had to get made. So if I want to make any kind of money on this, you're talking $40 for a hat. I don't know if anybody wants to pay that. And I don't even really need to make money on it. I'm happy doing it for half, for what I paid. I don't know why you guys would want BNN merchandise or gear. Just go buy an actual Boise State hat or gear. But if someone weirdo out there actually wants a BNN merchandise, I would love to find a way to give it to you. I just don't know how, and I'm not legally allowed to sell it. Like I said, I could challenge it. We could go to court, all this, not worth it. Boise State's been very good to me. They've been very helpful in starting BNN. And I got, like I said, Learfield, they've all worked with me. They've been very helpful and great. And there's been times where they've said I couldn't do something or whatever, and we've talked through it. And like Abe Jackson, they originally said he couldn't come on, and now they let Abe Jackson come on. So there's just been things like that they've been very helpful. And one of the changes you're going to see tonight on the pregame show graphic actually is Boise State's logo. I've never been able to have Boise State's logo on any of my kind of graphics or things because you have to pay a lot of money to be able to use Boise State's logo. But after a couple of years of not asking or not trying, we were able to get approval to use Boise State's logo with the opposing team's logo on our pregame and postgame show graphics. So we've spiced up the pregame, postgame show graphics, and you're going to have the Boise State and New Mexico logos right there on our screen. And that's something that couldn't happen a couple years ago. So that's the kind of stuff. Boise State has been really helpful and worked with me, and I really appreciate all of Boise State. Like I said, SID crew, all of them. I know it's kind of in the weeds, behind the scenes stuff, but do I wish I could sell merchandise? Yes, I do. Is that a fight that's worth fighting for them on right now? Probably not. So that's kind of where we're at on the merchandise. But if you have any ideas on ways that I can give away free hats, but have it be as part of some other package, or I don't know, subscribe, I don't know, just let me know, because I'm all ears on how I could possibly do it. But Surf City Bill, BNN t-shirt, put it on eBay for $500. I'm not sure you'd get $5. I'm not, and I agree, not worth poking the bear. Yeah. Yep. I agree. They do a lot of great stuff for me, so I appreciate them. I am rambling because I got nothing else to do or talk about, and I got nowhere to go, and I still got good viewership on the show. So I'm just giving you some behind-the-scenes business BNN talk here. It's an open book today, so if I'm rambling, feel free to stop watching if you'd like. No requirement to watch the show. It's a free show here on YouTube, so I always love when I get criticism occasionally on the show, because it's like, guess what? There's thousands of other YouTube shows and things you can be doing right now. You don't have to watch this show. anytime. So it's a free show. No one's requiring you to watch. If you don't like it, don't watch. That's the easiest thing that I can let you know there on that. So if I'm rambling, apologize. But I feel it was an informative ramble. There you go. So does BNN have merchandise? Ha! I assume that's a joke because I just spent 5 minutes talking about that. But if you just joined us, we have some shirts. We can give away free shirts at our golf tournament. We do give away free t-shirts that have a sponsor logo at the golf tournament because the sponsor helps pay for them. We can give away free stuff, just can't charge it and sell stuff. So that's where we're at with that. I'm trying to, again, if there's ways around the rules, I'm all ears. We can give out free stuff. Can't charge you for it. And like I said, Boise State's been really good to me. I'm not going to fight them on trying to sell a hat or a t-shirt to make $3 for BNN. Just not worth it at this point. But I know some of you guys like the merchandise and would love to find a way to try to get it out there if I can. I just don't know how that's going to be possible here moving forward. So again, January 1st, some new sponsors coming on board, some new graphics will debut tonight, some other graphics, some other options. And like I said, I'm all ears about trying to continue to expand this thing moving forward here. If we can get more live shows, the better. The more, the better. So the evening shows is something we've been doing with the 7 or 8 p.m. shows. Those are more conversational, at the James and things like that. So I don't know if you're saying you like the show or you want people to like the show on YouTube here or both. But yeah, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of the screen. Appreciate you for putting that up there. And thank you to the 100 plus of you still watching here, an hour and 20 minutes in. So I also took a week off. Like I said earlier, if you guys know me, I like to talk. And when I took a week off with no shows last week, it was boring. I had nothing to do. I had a great time. I was home with my family in St. Louis, but when it's 9 a.m. and I wake up, I'm ready to go. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to work when I'm on these shows. My work is all the graphics. My work is all the deals with sponsors. My work is all the business side of things, trying to track down stories, writing stories, talking to sources. That's work. When I come on here and talk to you guys, this is the best part of my day. It's fun. It's easy. It's pretty cool to say you're going to work or whatever, and you just come here and turn on a show on YouTube in your home office and talk for an hour or however long it goes. So that was one change we made. Actually, the shows used to be 30 minutes. I don't know if you guys remember this. When we first started, it was 30 minutes. And then I was able to get it to 45-minute guarantee with all of our folks. And eventually, yes, would like to get to an hour. But you got to pay, obviously, your hosts and things and plan that. But we're at minimum 45 minutes with our hosts, or that's the target time. Sometimes we go a little over, but we try to go about 45 minutes. Then I can kind of continue and ramble and keep going. But tonight, yes, there is a basketball game tonight. If you just tuned in, you can go back here in a minute when we're done and rewatch the first 30 minutes because we spent plenty of time previewing this game. But the Amish rain stuff's back. Funny. The first 30 minutes we talked basketball. You can go back and watch that when the show's over. But I will say, big game tonight. They're favored by 5 at Ken Palm after losing the first game at Nevada. Got to protect home court. Big opportunity here in the next 2 weeks. I mean, what's an ideal record the next 2 weeks? You got New Mexico at home, at San Diego State, Grand Canyon at home, Utah State at home. I mean, 2-2 probably seems like what you would expect. I mean, do you expect to beat Utah State? I know it's at home. I don't know. But San Diego State on the road, that's certainly going to be tough. Like 2-2 is probably okay. But if you can find a way to get to 3-1 somehow in the next 4-game stretch, if you're 3-1 coming out of that, you would have to feel really, really good. So big one tonight. I know 9 p.m. game stinks, but you got to find a way to win this one at home and certainly get back on track here and rebound a little bit, because if you do lose tonight, you're going to San Diego State facing a chance to be 0-3 in conference play. So a big, does UNM stink this year? Why are we favored? Is 5 starting still? No. New Mexico has 0 players from last year's team. 0. They don't have a bench player. They don't have a walk-on. They don't have a starter. They don't have a contributor. There are literally 0 players on the entire roster that were on last year's team. It is 100% completely new roster, 100% completely new coaching staff, new trainer. The only guy with any connection to the program that's back from last year is their SID, their sports information director, the guy that writes the press releases and sets up the interviews. That has literally no bearing on the actual game itself. So they have an entirely new video coordinator, new staff, brand new team at New Mexico. They're one of a couple teams in America that have literally nothing back from last year's team. So Eric Olin, the coach, came over from UC San Diego, did some great things there, and brought a couple of players with them. But it's a completely new roster, completely new team, and you're not going to recognize a single person. I take that back. Dayton Albury transferred from Utah State. So that Utah State, one of their key reserves last year, Dayton Albury, transferred over and is now a key player for and starter for New Mexico. So you'll recognize one guy, played in the Mountain West, but he was at Utah State. Would this be a bad loss or a bump in the road? Tough to say. I mean, I don't know if I'd say terrible loss, but when you're at home, it's New Mexico. It's a mid-level Mountain West team. If you want to get to the tournament, if you want to do big things, like this is probably a game you got to win tonight. You do. I'm not sure I'll come on the post game and say it's a horrible loss. Maybe if you lose by 30, it'd be a little more than a bump in the road for me. I think this is a home game. Now you're only favored by 5. Like I said, it's not some game you're supposed to blow them out. You're a small home favorite. That's hilarious that AI knows the rest for tonight. I don't think that's true. I mean, Michael Irving, Mike Littlewood, Mike Reed. That's 3 mics. We'll see, I guess, if that's the case. That stuff's usually not public, so I don't think that's accurate. They don't publicize where the refs are going to be ahead of time until you get to the arena and you see the sheet. Those schedules are not posted anywhere, so I don't think that's true. If that happens to be all 3 of those guys, and I'm gonna then come back to me and let's find out where you did that and how you got that, because that's if that's the crew. Obviously, everybody knows about Michael Littlewood. Mike Reed is a solid ref, but sometimes favors the road team a little bit because he doesn't give a bleep about the crowd or anything. Michael Irving, quality ref, but doesn't call a lot of fouls. So that's a veteran crew. I would say that. I'm not sure it's a great crew, but it's a veteran crew. Three guys that have been around a while. And it wouldn't shock me. Those are 3 guys that do, Mountain West games, but they would shock me a little bit because you don't usually get that info ahead of time for the most part. So I don't know if that's the case or not. So yeah, don't want to start 0-3. Got to play, San Diego State on Saturday. If you lose tonight, you'd have to go 16-2 the rest of the way. Yeah, but yep, I agree. Don't always agree with cottage cheese, but totally agree there. It's a game you got to win. Home game, got to find a way to win tonight. 9:00 start. So some of you guys are coming in asking questions we already talked about earlier. Bigger hire for Kirby, Matt Miller, or Brad Larondo. I mean, the Brad Larondo one's huge. I mean, Kirby Moore's a good hire, but I think Matt Miller's a good hire, but I think Kirby's still going to be heavily involved in the offense. Brad Larondo's got a chance to do some big time things with his connections with donors and boosters and NIL and things. So that's a big one. But yeah, some of these questions have already been asked. Someone accused me of rambling, so I'm going to jump off here, but go back and rewatch the show. 90 minutes live show. First 30 minutes on basketball, next 30 minutes on football and the transfer portal, and then kind of some random thoughts here towards the end. So appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for your support. Go subscribe if you can. BroncoNationNews.com right now, 50% off. Only $5 a month if you do the annual subscription. $5 a month at BroncoNationNews.com. Help us out. We'd love to have you jump on board with a subscription so you can continue to get free shows like this and more shows like this. Like I said, we'd like to have, we have 1 daily show. How about 2? Can we get a second live daily show by the end of 2026? That'd be an awesome goal. We just got to be able to pay somebody and find a way to do that. So thanks a lot. Go support the sponsors. Thanks for your support of Bronco Nation News. And if anything breaks, we'll have it online. Nathan Carroll does have a couple articles online right now. The basketball preview is up. You can read all about New Mexico and what the analytics say about tonight's game. The 5 names to watch for the wide receiver coach story is up, and you can read that as well. Our transfer portal is updated with Caleb Annette's transfer, so that's 14 players now in the transfer portal from Boise State. You can read about that at BroncoNationNews.com. And Chris Van Sickle also did a great job on Danny Hernandez, the QB guru that trained both Jackson Taylor and Cash Herrera. You can go read that and find out all the information that you need on Cash Herrera, Jackson Taylor, the quarterback battle. That's a great story on Bronco Nation News as well. So see you tonight, basketball fans. Let's get loud. Yeah, looking forward to that. So 8 p.m. We'll be live at 8 p.m. with the Alithia Ford of Boise pregame show. 8 p.m. tonight from Extra Mile Arena. We'll see you then. Like I said, if anything else breaks, we'll see you on the message boards. Go chat on the message boards. You guys all enjoy chatting with each other. It's free. We have a free football board if you can't afford a paying subscription. I hear you. Money's tight. It's tough. We do have a free board for football and basketball. You can go on there and chat and talk to each other. And then we do have the VIP board only for paid subscribers, where you really get most of better interactions with Chris and Nathan and Prater and I, and more detailed discussions on some of the stories and things as a VIP subscriber. So appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take a nap if you can. We'll see you 8 p.m. tonight, the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. Big one, Boise State and New Mexico. We'll have you covered fully. Again, Sun Cruiser Studios. Go get a Sun Cruiser. Appreciate our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. We'll see you tonight, folks. Bronco Nation News online, Bronco Nation News.